Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jacob Rudner here alongside Noah Cameras and Ariel Putterman, and welcome to the season finale of dTSPN. So, this being the final episode of the dTSPN season, we are going to be giving out some awards to the best of the best and the worst of the worst from around sports. And with that being said, our first award of today's episode is for the best single game performance of the year, and our first nominee is Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer, Washington Nationals, had a 20 strikeout performance against the Detroit Tigers. Not very many people have had 20 or more strikeouts ever. Really good. Second nominee is going to be Khalil Mack of the Oakland Raiders. Dude had a 5-sack performance against the Denver Broncos, made their O-line look like fools. Nobody else has really been able to do that. Congrats to him. Final nominee is Kobe Bryant of the Los Angeles Lakers. He's the best. He dropped 60 in his last career game and got the Lakers his 19th win of the season. Nice. So, with that all being said, our first award of this episode goes to Kobe Bryant. Kobe doing stuff.
Congrats.
All the way through the end. Way to go.
Congrats.
Moving on to the second award of this episode, we have the Welcome to the League Award going to the most outstanding rookie in their debut. And tell us about our nominees.
All right, number one, we have Ross Stripling, starting pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers, who in his debut, he came out, he threw 7 1/3 no-hit innings. He then got taken out of the game without still giving up a hit, so technically he had a no-hitter in his first start. Number two, Marcus Mariota, who was also pretty much perfect in his debut, 13 for 15, 4 touchdowns, perfect pass rating, and got them the win. And then number three is Karl Anthony Towns, who in his debut got 14 points, 12 rebounds, and he gave the Timberwolves the win.
Let's check the envelope. The award for the Welcome to the League Award is Ross Stripling. Ross Stripling almost threw a no-hitter. Dave Roberts, you should have left him in. It was your fault.
Left him in, but good job, Ross.
Moving on to the third award of the season. This one is the Hindsight Award. Why is it called the Hindsight Award? Because it didn't look so good in hindsight. This award is going to the team who made the worst move in hindsight, and our nominees are...
Our first nominee is the Diamondbacks, who literally traded their future for Shelby Miller, who has a 6 ERA right now. The second nomination is the Buccaneers trading up to 59 and giving away picks 74 and 106 for a kicker. Yeah, kicker.
Kicker, wow.
And our last nomination is the Rockets would trade a bunch, including a first-rounder, for Ty Lawson, who's done nothing this year.
All strong, all not so good. The Hindsight Award is the Arizona Diamondbacks. What a horrible decision.
Why?
I want to speak about this for a second. What were you thinking? Trading up, they traded everybody.
Dansby Swanson, Ender Inciarte, Aaron Blair for Shelby Miller, who was good. But he wasn't a top pitcher. I mean, he was a good pitcher, but Dansby Swanson was their number 1 overall pick. Like, what? I don't know.
Their ace.
I don't know what's going through their head.
If anything, I hope that this taught them a lesson. Please don't make this mistake again. We don't want to nominate you for next year. Please, please, please be smarter. Our next award is the Who Are You Award. This is not a bad Who Are You. This is a good Who Are You, as these players were unknown up until now, and all of a sudden they have come out of nowhere, and boom, they are playing great. Tell us about our nominees.
All right, so number one, we have Jackie Bradley Jr. of the Boston Red Sox, who this year has had a 29-game hit streak, which happened to be in the middle of Joe DiMaggio's streak back in the day, and he's batting way over 300 this year, so he's been great out of nowhere. Number two is Gary Barnidge, who has 9 touchdowns and over 1,000 receiving yards this past year for the Browns. And number three, we have Will Barton of the Denver Nuggets, Will the Thrill, who came out of nowhere, had a pretty good year, got some most improved player votes. So these are your 3 nominees. Congrats to the winner.
And the winner for the Who Are You Award, we know who you are now, Gary Barnidge. Gary, you slayed it.
He sounds like my pool guy, that name. Gary Barnidge.
So award number 6 is the Skip Bayless Award. This is given to the worst prediction made by one of the 3 of us. Painful, but it's true. The first nominee is going to be you. You predicted that the Pittsburgh Pirates were going to come away with the worst record in the NL.
I did.
They currently sit comfortably tied for 4th in the NL. Not good. Second worst prediction is going to be you. This one was that the Panthers were going to blow out the Broncos in the Super Bowl. Broncos won that game by 2 touchdowns. Panthers did not blow out yet. They were blown out. And lastly, this one belongs to me. This one, I predicted that Sonny Gray was going to come away with the Cy Young Award after this season. He currently owns a strong 3-5 record and a fantastic 6+ ERA. So, with all that being said, the award for the worst prediction between the three of us goes to...
Worst of the worst.
You.
Ariel.
I'll let you keep that.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
You can sign it if you want.
Oh, I will.
Making the playoffs.
Very interesting, and moving on to you.
I think that the Pirates will finish with the worst record in the NL, and this is why.
Moving on to award number 6. This one goes to the best caveman impression. This is for the least cleaned up player out there. These guys just don't look good. Who are they?
Our 3 nominations are John Jaso for MLB, Nick Mangold for NFL, and Steven Adams for NBA.
3 ugly looking dudes.
And the ugliest of the uglies, Nick Mangold.
Nick.
Yeah.
But to be fair, he looks scary for an offensive lineman, so at least he has that going for him.
No, he's good. He's massive and he's not attractive.
He is
It's
holding
perfect.
the position.
Caveman. Award number 7 is going to the best celebration. These were all pretty awesome.
Yeah.
First nomination is going to go to Jose Bautista. Had a really sick bat flip. Got him nailed in the face this year.
That's true.
I don't know if it was worth it, but it looked cool.
It was cool.
Nominee number 2 is going to Antonio Brown for literally jumping into the
that
field goal
That
pole.
one looked painful. I don't know
Yeah, for sure.
what was going through his head on that one.
On TV, that looked great. For him, I don't know how that
Must have
felt
hurt
or
his
what
man
went
region.
on right up here. And lastly, our last nomination out of the NCAA is going to go to the Monmouth bench. The bench might not have played good basketball, but they sure celebrated well.
I love him.
And with that being said, the award for the best celebration goes to Monmouth bench.
Monmouth, congrats. They have
What
the
a
rowing.
season.
The rowing, I love that. One's my favorite.
Monmouth bench, I want to give a shout out to you guys. You guys might not play that often, but you keep it exciting.
I love him.
Next, award number 8 is the Madden Cover Award. This is given to the player who is absolutely cursed because, you make a cover of a video game, you don't end up doing so well. These guys aren't looking so good anymore. Our first nominee is who?
Our first nominee is Dallas Keuchel. Last year he won the Cy Young. This year he's 3-6 with a 5+ ERA. Our second nominee is Eddie Lacy. He got really fat actually. Lost his starting job. Didn't even rush for 1,000 yards. He was a top running back in the beginning of the year. And then our last pick is Kyle Korver. He's a 3-point specialist who couldn't shoot from 3 this year.
Yeah.
So only 9 points per game and under 40% from 3.
It's not very good for him. That's his job.
And the award for the worst of the worst, Eddie Lacy.
Eddie,
Lacy.
big Eddie. But to be fair to Eddie, he did lose that weight for this year.
Yeah, you know what?
So-
Eddie Lacy coming back,
Yeah.
finally realizing that he doesn't want these kinds of awards and negative attention anymore. I don't know where the decision-making was to gain 30 pounds, but it clearly was not a
He
good
must have
one.
gotten hungry.
Award number 9, the second to last of this episode and of this year, is going to be the best move. Whether it be the shiftiest or the coolest looking thing, our nominees are.
All right, number 1 is going to Yasiel Puig. On April 12th, you can look back on it. He had a great slide against the Diamondbacks where he had to avoid the tag multiple times. He had to move his hands 3 different ways to avoid the tag. He did it perfectly. Number 2 would be Cam Newton, who showed his super cam ability. He flipped over a defender into the end zone for a touchdown. And number 3 is Dwayne Wade, who dropped Langston Galloway to the floor on a crossover so hard that Langston felt it, and I'm sure his family felt it too.
So, all the best to Langston and his family. We hope you're doing better. And with that being said, the award goes to Super Cam.
Super Cam!
Super Cam coming away with that award, flying into the end zone, flipping and
But one thing he did
scoring.
not do is fly and jump onto the ball in the Super Bowl, and that could have cost him the game.
That was
sorry,
a good
sorry
one.
to bring that up, Cam.
Harsh. And finally, the last award of the season is the Best Play Award, and the Best Play of the Year. And before we do that, I actually do want to give a few thank yous, especially to those of you at home who have watched our videos. We really do want to thank you for watching this year's episodes. We hope you guys tune in next year. We also want to thank Corey, our cameraman, sitting back there every single time, making sure we look good.
Love him.
And lastly, I want to thank Elijah Bernhard. He really was a huge help writing the scripts with us and making sure that everything sounded good and everything looked good. But with that all being said, we are going to move on to our final award of the year, the Best Play, and here are our nominees. Our first one is going to be Aaron Rodgers' Hail Mary in the playoffs against the Cardinals. Dropping back, throws the ball way down, and scores. They went on to lose that game. It was a bummer, but it was awesome
It was
anyway.
clutch Aaron Rodgers.
Yep. Nominee number 2 is Steph Curry. Steph, we have a whole highlight list of you, but this one came away on top. This was against the Thunder. 5 seconds left in the game. Huge range from Steph, 40 feet out. Jumps, throws, shoots, makes it.
Bang.
And finally, our last award for the last award is going to be Chris Jenkins of Villanova in the NCAA tournament. He went back, buzzer beater to win the whole thing. It was really cool to see how he shot it from so far away and made it at the last second.
But to add on to that, it was not just him. It was a great pass by their senior Ryan Archiadocano or something, who gave up the ball at the end to Chris Jenkins. He could have shot it himself, but it was really the whole play because it was a very selfless act of him to give him the ball. But Chris Jenkins was as clutch as ever.
And the final envelope, the final award,
Here we go.
the award is Chris Jenkins. NCAA representing
Ice in his veins.
in his veins. That does wrap it up for us this year. We do really appreciate you guys watching it, and for the final time this year, I'm Jacob Rudner here alongside Noah Cameras and Ariel Putterman, and thank you so much for watching this year DTSPN.